Hey guys, SEV Network. We're here with Bob Almond. How you doing?
Great, great. I'm glad to be here.
Now, your company's Inkwell.
My nonprofit organization is the Inkwell Awards. The Inkwell's for short.
Now, you're an inker,
Yes, I am.
and explain to anyone out there that might not know what an inker
The
does.
mysterious role of an inker.
Yes.
We're one of two line artists in comic books. Inkers are often misunderstood.
Okay.
It's an exclusive craft that was created at the dawn of the creation of the American comic book back in the late 30s. Before that, they used to have what were like comic books, but they were mostly reprints of like a comic strip material. New material was first handled in the late 30s, and they realized they could not print the work unless it was reproduced in ink. It was also the worst quality paper imaginable, newsprint, and it was throwaway entertainment. But they had to use the inker, and it was considered like a production skill because they didn't credit the artist very much back then, but especially no one beyond the writer or main penciler. So that way the artist could do more books. It was good for mass production. If you had a Jack Kirby who was very quick and very popular with the fans, having another person jump into ink allowed him to get onto more titles and make the company more money. As time went on, it became a more quality-driven skill. Okay, as we got towards the 80s, the publishers realized they were able to, in some cases, print the work straight from pencils, not to the levels that they were able to in the 90s, 2000s, the present, but it was a huge change in the inker's status because if you could print things without inking, of course, at that point, what do they offer? And it became more of a focus on that quality-centric approach to it. Things printed in pencils don't always
Now,
read as
again,
well.
to be clear, when you're talking about inking,
hmm
this is drawing the outlines as well as the shading.
You're basically redrawing in ink. So what you're doing is, yes, there is a form of tracing,
Okay.
as Kevin Smith had in his Chasing Amy film, something we're still trying to live down. But yeah, thanks, Kevin. Uh, it's a matter of taking what's drawn and making it, enhancing it as best as possible. And what I mean by enhancing is you may need to clarify the art. Something may not be translating as well, whether it's a change of plane, like where something sits in
Okay.
the space,
Okay.
or what are we talking about? Is this marble? Is this metal? Is this glass? So with textures, but inkers are also supposed to help with in terms of design and composition. Sometimes if it's loose pencils, an inker might be placing or spotting blacks in certain areas to make the panel and the sequential storytelling clear. You don't want something being ambiguous.
And again, this is all separate from colorists.
Yes,
This is no coloring. This
that's
is
the
just
first place people go when they're
right.
trying to understand what we do. We get
Right.
asked, so do you add the color? And no, there's actually a separate person for that. A lot of the public often feels one person is probably doing writing through art, through
Right.
coloring. And no, in order to make monthly deadlines, you have several people in place to do this. So that would include, besides the editor, writer, penciler, inker, letterer, and color artist or colorist.
And you're the I guess advocate for individuals
Yes.
to be
We-
get their just due.
We wanted the public, the community, to, because there's even people that work, even editors, that don't always know what the inkers are actually contributing.
Are you serious?
Yes.
How is
Um,
that possible?
I heard a name the other day that didn't know, and I would rather not say.
Okay.
It surprised me. But anyway, yeah, we decided to make the company twofold. Yes, it's about appreciation through the awards that we hold annually
Okay.
at a live ceremony, which I can get to a little later. But it's also about the educational aspect of it. The website is comprehensive. It does have resources like interviews, tutorials.
Oh wow.
There's links that we've picked up. We haven't been able to be right on top of that with fresh material just due to limited manpower from being a low-tier nonprofit.
Right.
But it does have links to a lot of things. It also shows comparisons, pencils, inks, side by side in one section of that area. We also have Well, we have a store. We always have news, but we also have a list of all the people that were nominated, who were awarded trophies every year, who were the nominators. We have a convention
And
list for our
before I forget,
tour.
what is the website? How can people?
It's inkwellawards.com.
Inkwellawards.com.
Exactly. Yep. No,
Okay.
no dashes. Nothing like that.
So yeah, so we have education, with I guess for the community, and I guess for people outside to get an idea of
Sure,
what's
because
going on.
it helped. It doesn't hurt to have fans and readers understand what it is that their favorite comic books, how they're created, and who's working on them, what they're contributing. Um, Pretty much, the site helps a lot, and we do have books that we produce every year. That our special ambassador, our first one was Joe Sinnott, who is debatably the best ink artist ever.
Wow.
That's actually a title used. And he's a very gracious gentleman who has been aboard with us for the last 10 years. He's 93, 94,
Wow.
but he participates every year in our Joe Sinnott inking challenge, which means he does drawings too.
Right.
One that's very tight, all the details are there. One that's loose, which means, yeah, not all the details are there, to put it simply. And volunteers will ink the work. For his event, it could be a professional, it could be an amateur, it could be just somebody picking up a brush for the first time and trying it. And we use that also as a fundraiser in our eBay store. But we later collect it into a book. So what's happening is we take the better of the contributions, and it's just a repetition of before and after. And you start seeing what the different contributions look like by different artists. We also have found that something as simple as taking the pencil and using it in a GIF and showing then all flashes of all the different ink jobs of that has kind of like lit up a light bulb in a lot of people's minds when they couldn't quite grasp what it was that we did before.
Oh, wow.
So these tools just occurred, and we're just running with it. And
How do you choose? How do you decide who's going to be up for what award, and then who says no? This is the winner. This is. I mean,
right.
How do you even?
What we do is, at the end of every year,
Okay.
we have a nomination committee, and what we try to do is try to have people that number one, we don't want them like all of from one job title or all from one company or whatnot. We try to have a variety, and these have to be people that understand what inkers do, and they send me ballots back with their nominees, their candidates for the different categories on the ballot, judging by what they've been reading or following all year. Sometimes the best nominators are retailers, because a lot of them are following the titles, and they off the top of their head, they can probably tell you. And sometimes we have somebody that's just a simple fan that's on the nomination committee, so they often know stuff. Reviewers online,
Are you guys big in social media to get the word out there?
we're really probably our most prominent social media outlet is Facebook. We
Okay.
have a group page and a fan page.
And anyone could join.
Oh
Anyone
yeah,
could be
it's not a closed group. You just
Okay.
ask to join, and yeah, we have right now about, I think it's like 1,600 members. It took us forever to reach 4 digits. It really did. It was like stuck forever at one point, like 600.
And then it just kind of.
And then once we got past 1,000, it just became a regular thing. So I'm very
Right.
proud of that. But we're also that feeds into Twitter. So we have a Twitter account. We have. I'm not very good with the social media,
no
so I don't
worries,
remember
no worries.
everything.
When is the next awards?
Okay, the
Can-
awards.
Can I go to it? Can
Yes, you
anyone say,
can.
hey, I want to be there?
We didn't have anything in our first 3 years, but in
Okay.
2000, in late 2010, early 2011,
Right.
Shelton Drum, the promoter of the Heroes Con, which has been existing now for approximately 35 years, probably the largest successful mom and pop comic centric show. And he had heard that we got burned by another company that promised us the world, and at the last minute said, "We don't know what you're talking about." And that same company had been a thorn in his side, and he contacted me and said, "I am willing to host your award show."
Wow.
And
What month is this going to be?
it's in June, the
Okay.
show. He's regularly been like the Father's Day weekend in June. But that worked well with us because our nomination committee, they really can't start evaluating fully until the end of the year because they have to have all the product from the previous year. And they have usually until February, maybe early March. And I get all of those ballots and I have to tally them, make sure they're eligible. Like the whole committee goes through a validation process where we make sure, was this really in 2017? Was this person really the inker? Do they fit into the categories? And the categories range from, there's the favorite inker, there's the most adaptable inker, there's the props award, which is somebody that's deserving of more attention. There is the Spammy Award, which is an acronym for Small Press, Mainstream Independent. Yeah, did I get it all? SP.
Wait, isn't there an A in there?
Yes, it's. Oh my God, I'm flaking out on you now.
Dun, 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 dun. It's okay.
Small Press and Independent.
Is it on the
Mainstream
website?
Independent. Yes, it is.
Okay. Go to the website.
Small Press and Mainstream Independent. Easy
Okay.
for me to say.
Right.
So that's for anybody that's not Marvel DC for inking.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there are other companies that are
Right.
debatably they're considered mainstream, but it's a matter of drawing a line, and that got into all kinds of arguments.
Is this in New York?
No, we don't have like you're talking about the awards ceremony.
where was the
Heroes
award?
Con is in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
So just wanted to finish my train of thought. The last category is the All-in-One Award, and that's for artists who pencil and ink themselves. So. Yeah, we get a lot of
So you get
different.
an award for
We
that.
get a lot of candidates that do that.
Yeah.
And then we have the Lifetime Achievement Awards. We have the Joe Sinnott Hall of Fame Award. We award 2 annually, and we more recently had what's called the Special Recognition Award. It's somebody that maybe wouldn't win a popularity contest because maybe they weren't a superstar or an innovator, but it's somebody that has fallen below the radar, but they're deserving for the work achieved in their lifetime. We renamed it the Stacey Aragon Special Recognition Award, and she was our first lady committee member, and she went through 10 years of cancer treatment, and she passed away last year. And my organization would probably have been stronger quicker had she not been sick, because she was, her whole life, she dealt with nonprofits and charities, and she wanted to build us like a member, a multiple tier member, membership program where it brings in more funds and have a network of volunteers, domestically. But the thing is, she's got the background, but she just got too sick. And I just felt like I owed her because up until a couple of days before she succumbed to that disease, she was still sharing our announcements on Facebook. So she was that devoted to us. And her husband's told me all kinds of stuff. I don't want to make it all about that, but it's just, that's why we named it after her. So that's it for the ballot. Then when we get that all validated after the tally, it goes to a public vote, and it usually takes place either, I think it's like early April,
That's awesome.
maybe late April. It's changed, but if you follow our website, or especially on social media, we will announce it, and it's a 2-week voting period.
So guys, go to the website, okay? Read up on this, support, learn some stuff.
Yes.
If you like comic books, or can you just appreciate the art with this knowledge, I think they'll appreciate it a lot more.
I would agree. Yes, I
Yeah.
think so.
And I gotta challenge you
Uh-oh, here it comes.
to let us know when you have events or something new or something important that we'll share it with the network.
I'd be
of
happy
geeks
to.
out there.
Hey, that's me too.
Yeah. That'll be great.
Okay.
And
Let's
also,
make it happen.
When you have flyers and stuff for the event, we could share that as
Yes,
well.
we have a lot of brochures, so that has a lot of that information on there.
Let's do it.
Okay.
No, we're good.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
We're
because
good.
all right. I
No,
didn't
but
know.
definitely check out the website. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And anything else that you guys are doing or promoting that you want to? Anything coming up immediately, like next month or
Immediately,
two?
no. We're just our tour. We have our convention listed on our site.
Oh, nothing. Just a
So
tour.
This was the first stop of our tour for the year. So.
When's the next place? You're gonna be?
We're all about New Jersey in April. We're attending the. Give me a sec. Garden State Comic Expo in the first weekend of April,
Right.
and the East Coast Comic Con on the last weekend of April.
Oh wow.
I can't remember the towns, unfortunately.
But it'll be on the website.
It'll be on the website. It'll be on social media. Other than that, we have Heroes Con in June, like I said.
Okay.
Because basically, about a month after we've tallied all the ballots,
Yep.
then we let all the award recipients told, so we can try to bring them in.
That's
so they
amazing.
get flown in, travel expenses covered, put up for the nights, free table space at the show, and they just take part in our awards ceremony.
That's great.
And
All right, so InkWellAwards.com. And it's on his shirt. Inkwell Awards. Just got to add the .com.
we have
you can't just
T-shirts
add
for
a
sale.
.com. Something's wrong.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right.
All right. I think that's the only thing I didn't know how.